You sat quietly on the Pearl's couch in your living room, your hands nervously clasped together as you absentmindedly traced circles on the fabric of your dress. Your father was on the phone. You hadn't meant to eavesdrop, but when you hear Jungkook's name, your attention sharpened. Yes, I understand. She hasn't been to your house even once after the engagement. Yes, I know. Alright, if you think that's best, then let's do it that way. You swallowed, feeling your pulse quicken. You know exactly who was speaking on the other end. John Jungkook's father, your soon-to-be father-in-law, and from the conversation, it was clear that he was inviting you to visit their house. Your father let out a soft sigh, glancing in your direction before responding. Fine then, if sending Jungkook to pick her up is the best way, I won't reject. But make sure he knows she is a shy girl. She might not be comfortable right away. Your breath hitched slightly. Jungkook was coming to pick you up. Your father's conversation continued, their voices steady and calm, but your mind was already running. You had met Jungkook only a handful of times since your engagement had been arranged, and each time you had barely been able to meet his gaze for too long without feeling your face heat up. And now he was coming here to take you to his house. Your fingers gripped the fabric of your dress a little tighter. Yes, that sounds good. I will have her ready by then. Alright, see you soon. With that he ended the call and turned towards you. Ryan, go get ready. Jungkook is coming to pick you up. Your father-in-law has invited you to their house. You felt a nervous flutter in your stomach but nodded obediently. Okay, Appa. You quietly made your way to your room. As you stood in the front of your wardrobe, your hands hesitated over the hangers. What should you wear? Something formal? Something simple? You didn't want to overdo it, but you also didn't want to look too plain. After a moment of debate, you settled on a modest but elegant outfit, something comfortable yet appropriate for visiting your future in-laws' house. You carefully fixed your hair, making sure everything was in place before glancing at yourself in the mirror one last time, and you stepped out of your room. As you descended the staircase, your father, who had been sitting on the couch, glanced up and gave you an approving nod. Your mother, who had been in the kitchen, stepped out and smiled softly. You look beautiful, dear. Thank you, Mom. Just then a sharp knock on the door made your heart skip a bit. Your father stood up and walked over to open the door. The moment it swung open, Jungkook's tall frame was revealed. He greeted your father with a respectful bow. Good evening, uncle, he said politely. Jungkook, come in. Your father welcomed him inside. Jungkook stepped in smoothly, his eyes briefly meeting yours before he looked away. He greeted your mother as well, exchanging a few words about how their family was doing. His voice was deep and steady, making your stomach feel light with nervousness. Finally, his gaze settled back on you. Are you ready? Your lips parted slightly before you nodded. Yes, your father looked between the two of you before turning to Jungkook. Take care of her. Jungkook nodded respectfully. I will. With that, you followed him out of the house, your heart pounding slightly as he led you towards his sleek black car parked just outside. As the car came to a smooth stop in front of John family's grand estate, your fingers clenched together in your lap, you stared at the large house before you. This was the first time you were visiting your soon-to-be in-laws' house. Your heart pounded against your ribs as you slowly unbuckled your seat. As you reached for the car handle, you hesitated for a split second, swallowing hard before finally pushing the door open and stepping out. Your fingers curled tightly into your dress, a nervous habit you couldn't shake off. Jungkook, who had walked around the car to meet you, immediately noticed your anxious posture. His dark eyes flickered down to your clenched fingers, and without a word, he stepped closer, his warm hand gently resting against your lower back, making you freeze for a moment. Don't get nervous, Ryan. They already like you. Your breath hitched slightly at his words, but somehow they made your heart slow down just a little. As soon as you stepped inside, your eyes landed on Jungkook's parents who were waiting for you near the entrance. Ryan, welcome. Jungkook's mother, Mistress Jeon, smiled brightly, stepping forward. Good evening. You greeted her politely, bowing slightly, then did the same to Jungkook's father, who nodded approvingly. Oh dear, no need to be so formal. Mistress John chuckled, stepping closer. She took your hand in hers. This is your home too now, sweetheart. No need to be shy. Your cheeks flushed slightly, unsure how to respond. It felt strange being welcomed so warmly into a home that you were still unfamiliar with. She is a little shy. That's understandable. It's her first time here after all, Mr. John said before turning to you. Relax, Ryan. We don't want you to feel like a guest. Thank you for inviting me. Oh, sweetheart, we have been waiting for you to visit for so long, she said, leading you further inside. Soon you reached Jungkook's bedroom. It was spacious, moderate yet cozy. A large bed and a bookshelf filled with neatly arranged books and decor stood nearby. You stepped inside hesitantly, your eyes scanning every detail. Your room is so beautiful, you said shyly, your voice barely above a whisper. Yeah, it's my room. Then, after a short pause, he added, but in a few days it will be ours. Your breath hitched as your heart skipped a beat. Your cheeks burned instantly and you quickly looked away, forgetting with your fingers. You weren't used to such direct words from him. It was as if he was effortlessly making you more frustrated by the second. Jungkook chuckled, amused by your reaction. You are already shy, huh? He teased, stepping closer. You pursed your lips, trying to hide your frustrated expression. I'm not. He tilted his head slightly, a playful glint in his dark eyes. You are blushing. You immediately placed your hands on your cheeks, feeling the heat spread even more. I'm not. Jungkook smirked, stepping even closer until there was barely any space left between you. You are cute when you are shy. Your breath caught in your throat. He was too close, too warm, too overwhelming. I should look around of your room. You blurted, stepping past him in an attempt to compose yourself. Jungkook chuckled at your escape as you wandered to his bookshelf. You let your fingers trail over the spines of the books. You read a lot? You asked, trying to shift the conversation. Sometimes, most of them were gifts. Your eyes scanned the titles of before landing on a small framed photo tucked between the books. You hesitated before picking it up. It was a picture of a younger Jungkook with his family smiling brightly. You were so cute, you whispered before realizing you had spoken aloud. Jungkook raised a brow. Cute? Realizing what you had just said, you gasped softly and quickly placed the frame back. Nothing. I didn't say anything. He smirked. You just called me cute? I did not. You did. He countered, stepping behind you. Does that mean you find me cute even now? Your entire face burned. That's not what I meant. It's okay. You don't have to hide it. I know I'm handsome, he teased. You pouted, refusing to say another word. Seeing you struggling, Jungkook let out a soft chuckle and leaned down slightly. You are adorable when you are like this. Your breath hitched again. Jungkook, stop teasing me, you finally whispered, looking down. He chuckled again before finally stepping back, giving you some space. Alright, I'll stop only for now. You let out a quiet breath of relief but still refused to meet his eyes. He casually walked to his bed and sat down, patting the spot beside him. Come sit. Your eyes widened. On your bed? Where else? He said, raising a brow. It's going to be your bed too. Your heart nearly stopped. No, I mean not yet. I mean, it's still your bed. I will just sit on the chair. Before you could run away, Jungkook suddenly reached out and took your wrist, gently pulling you towards him. Ryan, you are really too shy. You are making it so fun to tease you. It's not fun for me. He mumbled, still too frustrated to meet his gaze. You don't have to be nervous, you know. It's just me. You swallowed hard. That's exactly why I'm nervous, you admitted shyly. Well, you will have plenty of time to get used to me. Then Jungkook made you sat beside him and he shifted slightly, closing the distance between you. He reached for your hand, his fingers gently wrapping around yours. Your breath hitched slightly at the sudden contact, but he didn't say anything at first. Instead, he simply traced small circles on the back of your hand with his thumb. Are you still nervous? He swallowed, trying to calm the wild beating of your heart. A little. You don't have to be vain. It's just me, he said, repeating his words from earlier. We are going to spend the rest of our lives together, you know. Your cheeks burned. You still weren't used to the way he spoke about your future so casually. Before you could respond, Jungkook's gaze lowered slightly to your lips. Your entire body stiffened when he slowly leaned in, his face inching closer, his warm breath fanned against your skin, sending shivers down your spine. Your eyes widened as realization hit you. Just as his lips were about to brush against yours, you instinctively pushed him away, your hands landing on his chest. Jungkook blinked in surprise, tumbling slightly backward. His expression quickly shifted from playful to hurt. He stared at you for a second before pouting, crossing his arms as he turned away dramatically. I know it, he muttered under his breath. You blinked. Huh? Jungkook sighed, still refusing to look at you. I think you don't like me. That's why you're doing this. Your heart clenched at his words. His voice wasn't teasing this time. It held a hint of disappointment, as if he truly believed what he had just said. You panicked slightly, unsure how to fix the situation. No, I like you. Jungkook's body tensed slightly, but he didn't turn back to you. The room fell silent. You stared at his turned back, feeling guilt settle in. You didn't want him to think you didn't like him, but how could you make him understand? Your heart pounded as an idea formed in your mind. It was risky, but maybe it would work. Taking a deep breath, you hesitantly leaned closer, your hands trembling slightly as you reached out, gently placing your fingers on his arm. You immediately pulled away, your face burning hotter than ever. Your heart felt like it was going to burst. For a few seconds there was complete silence, then slowly Jungkook turned back to you. Your breath caught in your throat when you saw his expression. His pout was completely gone, replaced by wide eyes and slightly parted lips. His fingers lifted to touch the spot where you had kissed him, as if making sure it actually happened. You kissed me? You swallowed hard, looking down at your lap as you fidgeted nervously. I wanted to show you that I love you, you admitted shyly. Jungkook stared at you for a few more seconds before a slow teasing smirk crept onto his lips. Oh, then can I get another one? Your eyes snapped up to meet his, widening instantly. What? What? It's only fair, isn't it? You rejected my kiss, but you kissed me instead. Shouldn't I get another one? You covered your face with your hands, groaning softly. Jungkook, he chuckled at your reaction before suddenly leaning in again, his face just inches from yours. I love you too, Ryan, a lot. Your breath hitched as your heart fluttered wildly. Jungkook took your hand again, intertwining your fingers. Come on, let's go back downstairs before my mom thinks I kidnapped you. You nodded, following him with your heart still racing.